Today, I'm going to use Base44 to vibe code a home management app for myself and my husband. Trying to keep up with our maintenance of the house and making improvements. So there's a ton to keep track of, like changing out this air filter, logging all the receipts and expenses from a renovation, and keeping track of all the paint colors we used throughout the house. I'm tired of the chaos of Google Sheets, and I refuse to pay any money for someone else's solution that has features that I probably won't use. In case you've never heard the term before, vibe coding is basically when you tell AI what you want your software to do in plain English, and it writes the code for you. I have used all of the different AI tools that are out there: Lovable, Bolt.new, Replit, and Base44 is easily the most user-friendly. In case you didn't know, this company just sold to Wix for $80 million, and it was only 6 months old. When I saw those headlines, I was like, whoa. But when I used it, now I completely understand. Basically, the reason I like this one so much is because unlike the other tools where you have to connect all these third-party services, this one has everything just built in already. So database, user management, and even security. Let's get started so I can show you exactly what I mean by this. Okay, once you're logged into Base44, all you have to do is drop in a prompt and press this orange send button. Now, the prompt I just submitted for my app includes 3 core features: a maintenance task tracker, a library to record paint colors, and a receipt storage. If you want the exact prompt, I'm going to link it in the description below. Okay, great. We just got our first look at the app. It appears to have finished generating. You can see all these green check marks here are the components it made. So then here on the right side, we can see the preview of our app. And the first thing that I like to do is start using it until it breaks, because, I mean, ideally, we'd only have one prompt and we'd have a fully functioning app. I'm a little skeptical that it was that good, but we shall see. Wow, actually, it might have been that good, because usually when I click around to, say, another page like maintenance, it will say, hey, this page isn't complete yet. And so you have to go to the chat and say, can you create the maintenance page? Wow, it even has the paint library. Okay, this is pretty excellent. I was expecting to do more troubleshooting here. Another thing I want to point out is all of this is mock data, of course, because I'd never shared any data that I wanted it to track yet. And so we can go into our workspace here, and under the data tab, it will show you where all of this data is stored. So this is an alternative to something like Supabase. If you've used Lovable, you might be familiar with that. So if I wanted to go manually delete this, I could. I could also tell that to the chat. Let's see, I could also edit it here if I wanted to. But let's go back to the preview tab, and it'll take us back to our app. And this is what our dashboard looks like. But if I wanted to change anything about this, even down to the colors, I could just tell that to the chat. So let me put in our first task in maintenance. I'm going to say, change the air return vent filter. That's what it's called. And I'm going to say last completed 2025, select frequency, monthly, and I'll press add task. Okay, cool. That worked. So we can check and just make sure that it actually went into the database. It did. So that's wonderful. Okay, in the overview here of the workspace, by the way, it shows who can access this app. But if I go up to the top right corner and press publish, you'll see available domains. So this is a pre-configured domain that all of the Base44 apps come with, and it's kind of a bunch of characters, as well as home base is what the AI named this particular app. And for me, that's enough, because I don't need to configure a custom domain and have it accessible to other people. This is just for myself and my husband. So what I can do is I can share this app with my husband by pressing that share button and just sending the invitation. Now that brings me to security. So Over here in Workspace, you can go to the Security tab and you can see what your policies are on each table. So, for example, the public can currently access all of my maintenance tasks. So if I didn't want that, this is where I would edit that. So they make it very easy to edit your database security, which if you use Supabase again, that's a little bit more difficult. Well, now that it's already such a functional app, I do want to kind of test the limits of what Base44 can do. So I'm going to ask it to add in a feature where for the receipts, basically what I'd want it to do is use image processing features to catalog each item in my receipt so that I can see an itemized breakdown of all of the purchases I've made for my house. So I'm just going to tell the chat here, and I'm going to go into discussion mode because I don't know exactly what this will look like. So this icon here, it says discuss. And the reason I'm using this instead is because I don't want it to make code changes until I've discussed with the AI what exactly this plan looks like. So this is kind of like a planning mode. So I'm going to say for the receipt, I want to be able to upload an image of a receipt, and AI should read that image and catalog each item I've purchased. How can we do this? Let's see what it says. Okay, so this happened again, but after I entered that chat, nothing was happening, and I just pressed refresh, and now it says thinking. So seems like maybe a little bit of a bug that they have, but those types of things tend to be resolved pretty quickly. But that's just another lesson where these are pretty new tools. And so if you're having some sort of weird frustration like that, just try to refresh or step away, take a walk, come back. It might miraculously work after. I don't know. That's what I do. I think with vibe coding, it's so important to persevere through all of the bugs and just approach problems different and try multiple ways. Okay, like I just said, that took 2 more minutes, which I cut out of the video, but I refreshed it again and then I got my response, but it was not changing screens for me. So just wanted to keep this part in the video because this is my real experience using this. And if you have this frustration too, this is how I got around it. I just refreshed the page. Okay, so it is saying that we can implement this functionality. AI, by the way, is a yes man. It's always going to say, yes, we can do it. And you have to understand whether or not the solution is actually going to work out or not. And you have to take that risk to either implement it and then backtrack or implement it and it could potentially crash your app. So just keep that in mind. What I do is I try to do something, understand the risks of it, and then always backtrack if it doesn't completely work out and it's not smooth. Okay, so define a new structure for receipt items. All right, so that would be for our database. AI-powered extraction, we'll use an AI integration. Okay, I'm curious what AI integration it would use. So I'm just going to say, what AI integration would you use? I want to see what it suggests, but I'm pretty sure that I want to use OpenAI to read receipt images. It says I would use the extract data from uploaded file integration. So I'm going to say, does this have image capabilities? Because I feel a little skeptical about that. Maybe it is. Maybe this is something I don't know about. Okay. I mean, I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to take it out. Oh, it's already out of discussion mode. Let's implement this. Let's see if this works. So I like that you can see it go through its plan, and you can see it's still in the loading mode for editing the receipt form component. And it shows you in real time what it's working on. Okay, so now it says enhance the receipt storage with AI-powered item extraction that automatically reads receipt images and catalogs individual items with quantity and prices. Let's go see if that actually works. So I'm going to press receipts. I'll press add receipt, upload receipt. And I pressed upload. This one, if it gets this one, that will be insane. Okay, I do see an error here. So it says error calling integration, unsupported file type, which that's a JPEG. So really it shouldn't be an unsupported file type. Let's press resolve with AI. It says the following errors happened in the app, and that got automatically put over here in the chat. And you can actually see what those errors are, which I highly encourage you, if you're a vibe coder, to review those errors. And even if they mean absolutely nothing to you, I made a habit out of reading all of them. I started picking up on patterns. So I could see different errors just based on seeing repeated patterns again and again. And it was a way for me to understand what is actually happening in my code base. Okay, anyways, it says I've updated the receipt form to automatically convert file extensions to lowercase. Okay, so it was an error with the extension type. Okay, so now over on the right, it says receipt uploaded and processed, which is great. But I think it just refreshed the whole page because it always needs to refresh once the code changes. So let's try it again. We'll upload the receipt. I think I was saying earlier, but this is a really tough receipt photo to process. Oh my God, it actually got it. Wow. Let me see if I could show you the receipt. I'm going to open it up. It's all crumbled, and I just took it with my iPhone. Let's see. Did it get it perfectly? Wow, it did. Total amount. That's insane. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. So now I can press save receipt. No way. I did not expect it to work that well. I'm going to be honest. Okay. Oh, and then I pressed view and it just opened on my computer a copy of that saved receipt photo. That's incredible. Wow. Okay. So there you have it. I was just able to create that 4 prompts here. And then we got to this receipt feature where I could just take a photo of a receipt and it will store it for me. That is game changing right there, because I've used like Expensify, I want to say, where I take photos of receipts for corporate expenses. And I remember that being quite expensive. And so I just created my own version of that for my home. That's great. Okay, I just had another idea for another item I can add to the maintenance tasks, which is a calendar. So I'm just going to say, add a calendar to the maintenance section so that I can see all upcoming tasks from a monthly view. Cool. So that only took a couple of minutes, but now I have this calendar view and I don't have any events scheduled except for August 5th. But you can see that's on the calendar for August 5th. And I'm sure that if I wanted to get very fancy, I could integrate this with my Apple Calendar. I'm not going to do that right now just because I prefer to have this in a separate app. Now, there's so many other features that I can add to this app to make it truly uniquely custom to me and my home and my household. Let me know if you're interested in seeing how I continue to build out this app. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Comment with any questions you might have so I can continue to make these videos. And I'm going to leave a link for Base44 if you want to go try it out. And also, I have 2 communities that you might want to know about. One is called Idea to App with AI. It's free. It's hosted on School with a K. I'm going to link it below too. It's a group of non-technical people who are trying to build out their apps. A great resource. So I'd love to see you there. And then if you are a woman building with AI, we have a free Slack workspace that I'd love for you to join. So I'm also going to link that below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.